Went to bed early, though I'm not gonna sleep. Honey stinger supplies are laying in a heap. Should be exhausted from marking out the course, but I'm excited cause this weather could be worse. Everything's organized, there's only one thing to do. Gotta mark that mountain in the morning dew. After that, the riders be on their way. No time like this cause it's the P-Town Roubaix. It's the P-Town Roubaix. P-Town Roubaix.
So, what is a P-Town Roubaix? Well, this is something that goes back quite a bit of time. Looking at the official ride, probably all the way back to 2017 was where we had the first Roubaix title on a ride. This ride just had, I think, 5 or 6 of us, and just the idea was just to ride this course. It was 50 miles at the time, and then come back and watch the actual Paris-Roubaix race on the TV, as we did it on the exact day that the Paris-Roubaix race happened. We did that. We had a good loop. At that time it was kind of called the Not Your Grandma's Road Ride Loop, because it included 2 off-road sections, one of which made it into the current P-Town Roubaix Loop, which would be the West Nanticoke Climb section. But after that, the same year, we did a fall foliage ride, and this course closer resembled what the current Roubaix route is. This one was borderlining the 70 miles. It had everything except the Back Mountain Trail section and the Corby Road finish on it, but that was intended for that day, but we just ran out of time. Fast forward to 2018, and we had the first actually officially sanctioned P-Town Roubaix ride. It was advertised on Facebook. We had over a dozen riders here, but it was cold that day. So I think only 5 people actually finished the ride. It was brutal. And then this year, we have the current version, which you're about to see video from, where we upped it a little bit. We had the course marked, we had some sprint lines and some King of the Mountain lines on the course, and just tried to make it more of a actual ride in the hopes of maybe making it a charity ride soon in the future. But the love of this ride goes back even farther, to even when we lived at my parents' house. I remember having get-togethers to watch this ride, the Paris-Roubaix that is. It's just a brutal race. It's over 150 miles long. So many sections of gravel and cobbles that they have to go through to get to the finish line. And it's just a brutal race that mixes together the endurance level of road biking with a little bit of the technical factor of mountain biking, which is, I think, what attracts me to the Roubaix itself and just the gravel scene in general. Here's some footage from the Roubaix from this year, 2019. So this year, due to weather, the Roubaix was held in May, on May 19th, and the weather was beautiful. We hit a high of over 80 degrees for the day. So riders met up around 9 a.m., signed in, picked up their goodies, and got together for their pre-ride meeting before we went out for the day. And Larry and I would follow behind the ride most of the day, jumping ahead to set up the rest stops here and there, and just making sure everybody was okay.
Hey, that's so extra! Like the tour! Woo! P-Town Roubaix!
And everybody was still smiling at this point. The temperature was still in the 70s, so it wasn't too hot yet. and the first part of the course is a nice warm-up going along the prison loop. And then the riders headed to the first sprint line, which was at the end of Deer Park Road.
Yeah! Yeah.
From there it was a bomber down Smith Pond Road. That took us to Misdale Road, which ended up being the turn that would take us up West Nanticoke Mountain Climb, the first KOM of the day.
Sport crew, station number, rest area number 1 set up. Waiting for him.
I would have sprinted the whole thing. I would have been here half an hour ago, but I don't know.
Right. We found a nice shady spot though, so we don't mind. Big jets flying. But they should be here within 10 minutes, I would say. That West Nanticoke climb's a brutal one. Yeah. Conquered the toughest part of the ride. Yeah. Little bit of mud on the tires.
Just a little.
No photographs of my bike in this condition, please.
Aaron's on the new Canyon. Ooh.
I was saying I cleaned it, like gave it a good washing yesterday, and I noticed like the first couple of real big gashes and scratches.
Oh.
I had like my moment of grieving.
West Nanticoke mountain climb done.
Cheers.
Let's get some pickle juice.
Pickle juice. Pickle juice discs.
First cruise through, 4 riders. Ken, Booze, Rich, and Aaron.
Ride's going out. Riding up there when there's leaves and no ice and snow. Not where
Nice and kind of depressing too, because you can't see anything. Just appreciate the views of how much you climbed.
Seems less worse.
Yeah.
The lookout was to the left.
Yeah. But with the leaves, you can't even see anything.
You want to sit down?
No, I'm good.
Unless you go significantly down. Yeah.
Can't imagine that with snow and ice on it though.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's sketch fest.
Yeah.
Bob Stein.
Hello. Beautiful day. Nice weather, warming up, where it should be. I have 1 layer of clothes on, so I appreciate it. Almost died.
Almost died on the West Nanticoke downhill.
Pretty damn close. I think I maybe put myself a little bit. That's about it. Give me that damn. I told Gary I almost died.
Did you?
In the downhill, the big rocky second.
I saw the skid in the center. Were you the one in the very center on that like
I was all over.
turnpike there?
I was all over the place.
That's the line of day. You gotta stay
You want to stay right in the center. I got up there. I'm like, oh, there it is.
I was all over the place. I hit it. I was like, I'm this. I was just this the whole time. I'm going.
That's part of the saying too. When you come, you can't see it when you come over that
You
lip.
come over and it's like, oh no.
When you hit it, it's like okay, it's just a little bit here, but you don't see all. You're focused on this.
Yeah.
And there's like a ton of like 3 other sections of nastiness.
It gets steeper and faster, and then it gets worse.
I may have myself along the way.
Oh no!
What is that? God damn it! Did you poop yourself? Yeah.
Murphy went right for it. And
You garbage.
it only gets easier from here.
Somewhere.
That was the hardest shit I think I've ever ridden.
I believe that. I like it.
So after rest stop number 1, which is right at about mile number 20, everybody headed out, and by now everybody was pretty well split up, so it's hard to keep track of everybody. We waited a few spots. There was another sprint line, another King of the Mountain to see the leaders, and then we kept working our way back, making sure we got everybody water at least before they hit the next official rest stop, which was at Mountain Fresh Market. So Mountain Fresh is the big rest stop. This one comes at just about halfway through the ride. All right, you're in mile 30s region, so everybody usually stops here and gets a big, heartier size snack, a sandwich or whatever. Refill your water with Gatorade or maybe a soda or a beer maybe, and maybe do some stretching as well to prepare you for the next part of the ride. So it worked out nice with Mountain Fresh. We got to see everybody here. When we pulled into the lot, the leading crew was just getting ready to leave, and we hung out there where the rest of the people kept coming in. And it was nice. We got to see everybody, make sure everybody was okay. It was at this point that you could see the heat was starting to catch up with some of them. I said we weren't used to the heat. It was in the high 80s today, so definitely takes it out of you. once the riders left here, I assured them, and I was being honest, after this point the ride is pretty much a cakewalk comparatively to the rest of it. You have a little up and over on Trojan Road, a little climb to get to the Dirty U, but then the reservoir section, the Overbrook, the Back Mountain Trail, it's really all downhill to Corby. And this was the last stop right at the start of Reservoir Road. Got to see everybody again and give them the opportunity to fill up water one last time before they started their descent down to the start of Corby. And this was a scene on top of Corby. We missed the first 4 riders through, but we had special beverages for everybody else.
Wow.
I was going to say any parting words, but that just summed it up right there. Papa Stein leaving the Corby beer stop.
Yep. Corby Hill.
He's got it in the bag now.
Beer's coming out pretty good.
Just the last 3-mile flat stretch.
Yeah, my ass flat. 3 miles of what? 3-4% grade of climbing? Well, I got like a 12 here. It's one spot. The rep is like about 3 to 4.
It's like nothing.
I had done it a lot of times. I know what it's like. Especially when this far in the ride, it hurts more than normal. So to go up that way, I have to get that out, right? I'm going to be going over this way where that house is, right?
Yeah.
Got to go around and see.
Yay! Woo! Murphy didn't have enough. He's finishing strong with the single track on the end. And he's freaking ripping it. Oh my God. Coming through the single track finish as well.
No more. I'm going home.
You're home, you made it.
I'm home.
You have to ride into the garage for ceremonial purposes.
I'm home. I'm home.
So that was it. After the ride, had a barbecue outside on the deck, and then eventually it started to storm, but it waited for all the riders to be done. So we made our way downstairs and talked about the ride down there, gathered for an awards ceremony, and then eventually the power went out, but we still had a great time. Awesome ride, awesome crew of people, and great job again to everybody that was there. A big thanks to Larry for helping out with the support vehicle. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you didn't make it out to this year's, definitely be doing it again next year, and probably keep it in May. Again, I think the weather's a little bit more predictable, even though that's kind of the idea with the classics, is to be a little miserable. It was definitely nicer having the sunshine on us this day. But that's it for this time. We'll see you out there. Enjoy.
It's the beat.